well-secured land and car parking lot for your wedding reception, birthday party, church, and school end-of-the-year event. Our conference hall is convenient for company annual general meetings, lecture seminars, or workshops. With just 150,000 naira only, you can use our entire space and also have the event covered and aired on our social program, Maryland. For more inquiries, please contact our marketing department, MT Lagos Channel 10, Tejurisho, or call our telephone number, Chibuzo 0812 324 5519, Gmo 0803 830 1669. NTA Lagos Channel 10 premises, affordable just for you. But what I'm saying is, we are better together.
Dushma Lucy Pius
Welcome to Against All Odds on the Nigerian Television Authority. Welcome to Against All Odds on the Nigerian Television Authority, a program that brings to your doorstep the lives of persons with disabilities.
This is the network service of the NTA.
This is the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, in commemoration of the 2023 June 12 Nigeria's Democracy Day. The President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, addresses the nation. Mr. President.
Fellow Nigerians, it is exactly 3 decades today that Nigerians went to the polls to exercise their inalienable right to elect a president of their choice to lead the transition from military dictatorship to a representative government of the people. The abortion by the military fiat of the decisive victory of Chief MKO Abiola of the defunct Social Democratic Party in the June 12, 1993 presidential election. Up to that time, the fairest and the freest election in the country's political evolution turned out, ironically, to be the seed that germinated into the prolonged struggle that gave birth to the democracy we currently enjoy since 1999. In rising to strongly oppose the arbitrary annulment of the will of the majority of Nigerians, as expressed in that historic election, the substantial number of our people who participated in the struggle to annul the election signified their fierce commitment to enthroning democracy as a form of government that best ennobles the liberty, the dignity of individual, and integrity, as well as the stability of the polity. The fierce opposition to the annulment of June 12, 1993 presidential election and unrelenting pro-democracy onslaught it unleashed was the equivalent of the battle against colonial rule by our founding fathers that resulted in the gaining of Nigerian independence in 1960. Just like the anti-colonial movement, the pro-democracy June 12 vanguard demonstrated once again the enduring validity of the 19th century historian Arnold Toynbee's eternal postulation that civilization and society experience progress as they are forced to respond to challenges posed by the environment. The unjust annulment of a widely acknowledged free and fair election was a challenge by the environment. The unjust annulment of a widely acknowledged free and fair election was a challenge that elicited resistance by a resurgent civil society, leading ultimately to the attainment of our second independence, as exemplified by the return of democratic governance in 1999. Fellow compatriots, we celebrate a day that has remained a watershed in our nation's history, not just today, but for every June 12th, for the endless future that our beloved country shall exist and work stronger and stronger. Generation of Nigerians will always remember themselves that the democracy that is steadily going to become the defining essence of our polity was not gifted to us on a silver platter. We can easily recall the sacrifice and the martyrdom of Chief M.K.O. Abiola, the custodian of the sacred mandate that was so cruelly annulled. He sacrificed his life in unyielding patriotic defense of the ideals of democracy, as symbolized in his choice by his fellow countrymen and women as their duly elected president. There was an easier choice for him. It was to forego the justice of his cause and opt for the path of ease and capitulation in the face of the tyranny of power. To his eternal credit and immortal glory, Abiola said no. He demonstrated the time-tested eternal truth that there are certain ideals and principles that are far more valuable than life itself. Every day on this day, down the ages, them until they lose it. We have transferred the dark, thorny part of dictatorship before, and those who experience it can readily testify to the unbridgeable gap between the dignity of freedom and the humiliation and degradation of tyranny. through, yes, rancorous debates, interminable wrangling, ceaseless quarrels, bitter electoral contestations may be perceived by some as the unattractive feature of democracy, but they also testify to its merits and value. This year, we held the seventh in the cycle of elections that have become sacred ritual of our democratic practice in this dispensation since 1999. That the polls were intensely contested is in itself positive evidence that democracy is well and alive in our land. It is only natural that even as those who won and experienced victory in various elections are elated and fulfilled, those who lost are disenchanted and disappointed. But the beauty of democracy is that those who win today can lose tomorrow, and those who lose today will have an opportunity to compete and win in the next rounds of elections. Those who cannot endure and accept the pains of defeat in elections do not deserve the joy of victory when it is their turn to triumph. Above all, those who disagree with the outcome of the elections are taking full advantage of the constitutional provisions to seek redress in court. That is one of the reasons why democracy is the best form of government invented by man. For Chief M.K.O. Abiola, the symbol of this day, in whose memory June 12 became a national holiday, democracy is eternal. It is about rule of law and vibrant judiciary that can be trusted to deliver justice and strengthen institutions. It has become imperative to state here that the unnecessary illegal orders issued to truncate or abridge democracy will no longer be tolerated. The recent harmonization of the retirement age of the judicial officers is meant to strengthen the rule of law, which is a critical pillar of democracy. The reform has just started. The democracy that will yield right dividends to the people who are shareholders means more than just freedom of choice and right to get people into elective offices. It means social and economic justice for our people. To the winner of June 12 democracy offers the best chance to fight and eliminate poverty. 30 years ago, he christened his campaign manifesto, Farewell to Poverty, because he was convinced that there is nothing defined about poverty. It is a man-made problem that can be eliminated with clearly thought out social and economic policies. It is for this reason that in my inauguration address on May 29, I gave effect to the decision taken by my predecessor in office to remove the fuel subsidy, the albatross, and free up the collective use of much needed resources, which had hitherto been pocketed by a few rich. I admit the decision will impose extra burden on the masses of our people. I feel your pain. This is one decision we must bear to save our country from going under and take our resources away from the stranglehold of a few unpatriotic elements. Painfully, I have asked you, my compatriots, to sacrifice a little more for the survival of our country. For your trust and belief in us, I assure you that your sacrifice shall not be in vain. The government I lead will repay you through massive investment in transportation, infrastructure, education, regular power supply, healthcare, and other public utilities that will improve the quality of lives. The democracy MK Abiola died for is one that promotes the welfare of the people, personal interests of the ruling class, and one where the governed can find personal fulfillment and happiness. That is the hope MK Abiola ignited throughout our country in 1993. On this year's Democracy Day, I enjoy all of us, to rededicate ourselves to strengthening this form of government of free people that has been our guiding light these past 24 years. In particular, those of us who have been privileged to elect into public office at various levels in both the executive and legislative arms of government must recommit ourselves to offering selfless service to the people and delivering concrete democracy dividend in accordance with our electoral promises. On my part and that of my administration, I pledge anew our commitment to diligently fulfilling every component of our electoral pact with the people, the Renew Hope agenda. We shall be faithful to truth, faithful to equity, and faithful to justice. We shall exercise our authority and mandate to govern with fairness, respect for the rule of law, and commitment to always upholding the dignity of all our people. On this note, I wish us a happy Democracy Day celebration and pray that the light of liberty shall never be extinguished in our land. Thank you all, and may God continue to bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Top on the news. President Bola Tinubu calls for dedication to strengthen democracy as Governor Sanwo-Olu emphasizes separation of religion from politics. Plus, federal government puts livestock farmers on alert against spread of anthrax. Good evening and welcome to the news at 7 on NT Lagos Channel 10. I am Essie Owamaka and a happy Democracy
Day celebration to all Nigerians. On Democracy Celebration, President Bola Tinubu has enjoined Nigerians to rededicate themselves to strengthening democracy as a form of government. President Bola Tinubu has enjoined Nigerians to rededicate themselves to strengthening democracy as a form of government of free people. The president, in his first Democracy Day a while ago, also called on those in elected positions to recommit themselves to selfless service to the people, delivering concrete democracy dividends. State House correspondent Musbao Delwahab reports.
Off and on until the military release the result of the June 12 election and put the democratically elected president, who is myself, in charge of affairs.
He craved for it, but could only pay dearly for attempting to lead his people to a land that was hitherto promised. But perhaps not a completely lost battle. One of his disciples is now in the saddle.
Fellow Nigerians.
And so, here is an opportunity for the seeming destiny child to pay tribute to his role model.
For Chief MKO Abiola, the symbol of this day, in whose memory June 12 became a national holiday, the democracy is eternal.
Nigeria's democracy had seen several births and deaths before its rebirth in the Fourth Republic, but for President Bola Tinubu, the sacrifices made by those he described as heroes and heroines of the famous June 12 struggle were too much to throw to the wind.
The point is that we must never take this democracy for granted. We must forever jealously guard and protect it like a precious jewel.
Of activities to commemorate the 2023 Democracy Day celebration, a parade was held at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. State House correspondent Abdulrahman Usman Jibrila reports that President Bola Tinubu witnessed special change of guard.
That doing the right thing requires you to step out and stand up. Tip 5. Eliminate harmful habits. If you tend to stretch the truth, cut it out. If you use company equipment, supplies, or facilities for personal use, stop it.
With 191 personnel from the military and police, change of personnel guard is weekly.
Question of governance.
The celebration, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, has congratulated Nigerians for their unwavering support for the nation as the mark of this year's Democracy Day. Gbajabiamila says this year's Democracy Day is worth celebrating because it is a unique milestone in the nation's democratic journey. Ahmed Tinubu, a thoroughbred Democrat who is noted for his tenacious defense of democracy, noting that his joy stems from the fact that Nigerians are set to appreciate the true meaning of democracy, as President Tinubu understands the tenets and values. In a statement by his special advisor and media and publicity, Larry Lasisi, Gbajabiamila also expressed his appreciation to Nigerians as they continue to support the country's return to democracy by building its processes without wavering since 1999 and called for unity in overcoming challenges. Back home, the desired unity of the country will be achieved if public office holders learn to separate religion from political equation. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu stated this at a symposium organized by Alliance for Yoruba Democratic Movements to commemorate 30th anniversary of June 12 in Lagos. Musa Chelet has details.
This gathering that attracted pro-democracy movements, various artisans and trade groups is born out of the need to celebrate the adjudged freest and fairest presidential election in the country. It is also meant to appraise Nigeria's democratic governance.
The prayer on utility and social services have increased. However, the first solution
presented by his deputy, Obafemi Hamzat, stressed that there is need for Nigerians to imbibe the lessons of June 12, which placed unity high and above tribal, religious, and political sentiments.
It is worthy to note that Lagos continue to play prominent roles in the sustenance and development of our democracy. In the victory of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his Excellency the Vice President Kashim Shettima GCFR, Nigeria once again reignited the spirit of June 12, 1993.
Some of the participants react to the June 12 celebration.
In all sense of responsibility, I'm saying to you that until the arrival of President Tinubu, what we had was a facade of democracy. People like us are not excited.
There is a connection.
Us out of slavery, darkness. Looking back, June 12 is the time we break forth from military to democracy. It's the true reflections of democracy in Nigeria.
June 12 has set the standard. I want to use appeal to all aggrieved opposition party members to imbibe the spirit of sportsmanship.
We are commemorating 30th anniversary of June 12, and everybody is saying there is need for us to work in concert with a view to sustain the ideals of democracy which MKO Abiola lived, fought, and died for in this country.
The deputy governor later proceeded to Ikeja residence of the presumed winner of the June 12, 1993 presidential election, late Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola, to lay wreath at his tomb in Lagos. Musa Toliad, NTA News.
And in health, federal government alerts 5 livestock breeders and poultry farmers an outbreak of anthrax in neighboring countries, calls for caution and vaccination of animals in states of Kebbi, Sokoto, Niger, Kwara, Oyo, Ogun, and Lagos. A statement by the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Agriculture, Dr. Ernest Afolabi, says Nigeria was alerted on the outbreak of the zoonotic disease in northern Ghana, Burkina Faso, and Togo. The disease, the deadly disease has far claimed lives of farmers and their livestock in the neighboring countries. The general public is therefore advised to desist from the consumption of hides, pomo, smoked meat, and bush meat, as they pose serious risk until the situation is brought under control. Meanwhile, the public is urged to remain calm and vigilant as the federal government has resuscitated a standing committee on the control of anthrax in the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. Furthermore, relevant institutions and collaborators have been contacted with the aim of controlling the outbreak. This is in addition to the sensitization of state directors of veterinary services nationwide. Now to sports. In an effort to contribute to sports development in Lagos State and also maintain good health among the citizenry, the badminton section of the Ikoyi Club 1938 has organized the 2023 American Badminton Championship. Wabufo Woye has details.
The championship, organized by Ikoyi Club 1938, was grouped into 3 sections, with each group to produce best 3 players who will occupy first, second, and third positions in the group. These 9 best players emerged from the 3 groups were awarded for excellent performances.
The winning moment is always great. I've been playing for long, but sometimes you lose in the final, sometimes you lose in the semi-final. But today, my dream comes true, so it's feeling very great.
I've been working hard.
Today, my dream comes true, so it's feeling very great.
I've been working hard to get to this level, and today, God has made it possible for me to be the champion.
I'm feeling very proud. I really enjoyed the games today, and thank you very much for the Ikoyi Club for arranging such a nice tournament.
The chairman, badminton section, Ikoyi Club 1938, Thomas Adoye, among other stakeholders, speak on their efforts to develop badminton in Lagos State.
If you want to get children away from social vices, you engage them in sports. I know badminton is not a popular game to some people, but what we have put into it for over years with those past chairmen, it has shown that a lot of people have really developed interest on the game.
We call on the state and the federal government to support, to ensure that they upgrade the game to an international standard.
The challenge today is because many schools don't have enough space as it used to be in the past. So not many can really boast of a
a complete badminton court except multi-purpose. So most schools go to sports centers, that have been built by state government to also play the game.
Wellness, fitness, harmony through sports is our motto. So these are one of the kind of activities that we put up to encourage that relationship.
Then join all hands be on deck to create job opportunities to the youth through sports development. In Lagos, Wabu Fonwoye, NTA News.
And that's the size of our package of the news at 7 on NTA Lagos Channel 10. Thank you for watching. I am Essie Owomaka. Good evening.
Do you want the best in news?